thank you so much, for taking time to join today's webinar, uh, Women's Leadership. I know that this will be very insightful, and we're gonna learn from each of us that what the measures that we can share with our audience, and our experience could be very helpful for them to consider to use in their business or life. And thanks each of you for making this webinar possible. Miss Gloria and Her Excellency Miss Hend, Miss Shalini, Miss Debra, and Miss Peggy.
Hi.
The audience and Seal Club team, Jenny Bate, Aaron, Basto, thank you all for your efforts to make this webinar possible. Before we start, that I want to remind the audience that we will have 15 to 20 minutes for QA session. So please do drop your questions and in the chatting box with mark of Q. You may also tell us which panelist or myself for your questions. And if you got disconnected, please click reconnect button to re-enter the meeting room. Today we are gathering together to tackle the topic, women leadership, female leadership. What is the leadership? Leading a group of people for serving to its mission. For country, from country president to a company CEO. All is about the mission, the goals, and the growth. And nowadays, the relationship, the leadership is more into innovation, strategy making, and revising. I'm sure that the most activity recently we've been involved is keep, uh, you know, revising the strategy and making the new strategy, right? So what's the differences between the leadership from female leaders and the male leaders? We also discussed this topic before. So women leaders can make a difference. From my experience in China, we think a woman is made of water. Water presence, soft and intelligent. We apply this theory with communication, trust, respect, empowerment, recognition, and rewards. By doing this, we could be great leader. As a leader's role is to develop more leaders and serving to its people. So I'm sure today our panelists will share their insights with you all. So now I'm going to introduce all panelists. I won't be mentioning all of their achievements. I will just highlight some parts. I will start with from the other screen that Miss Gloria Belendez Ramirez. Okay. Gloria, I have so much to say about her. Mainly, very importantly, she's my twin sister. My mentor, of course, for many years. Best friend and Seal Club Value member for many years. Women Division Advisory Board member. She has 3 hats on. Author. She wrote a book called Spiritual Orgasm, Vivid Encounters in the Now. By the way, this book is available from Amazon. And she's an entrepreneur. She's the founder and mother of Villa Situ, a retreat center for people to have deep relaxation in Mexico, San Miguel. I have visited the Villa C2 twice and experienced the best hospitality in the world. She's also one and only happiness ambassador. Now she's spending more time on helping people who need food, who need help in Mexico. So thank you so much for joining us today, sister. Miss Hend. Now I'm going to introduce you to audience. A woman could be a leader. There are a few reasons: dedication, hardworking, intelligent, and creation ability. So that is what I see from Miss Hend. She has two hats on: CEO of Dubai Real Estate Institute, with the focus of developing future leaders. Also, she's Seal Club Women Division Advisory Board member. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to learn insights on the leadership, especially from real estate perspective. We didn't talk recently for 2 weeks, so I really want to know what is happening from your sides. Thank you again. Now, I'm going to introduce Miss Shalini. Miss Shalini, we called her deal maker. She achieved 5 deals at the first year after joining CEO clubs. She's very brave. Why? Um, she can walk with a lion. Now,
Yes, I did in Mauritius.
let's see how she walked with a lion. Video, please.
Oh my God. Oh,
That's the trip we went to Mauritius together, and
Mauritius.
she's so brave. She walked with a lion. She took a video, and I was so impressed. We had so much fun together from that trip, which is the Bird Seal Award in Mauritius.
Yeah.
Yep. So Shalini, so what she does, she's CEO of Fiona Environs, an interior design and landscaping company. The company has completed many bigger projects such as Dubai South, Jumeirah Golf Estate, and many more. So Miss Shalini has a magic way of doing business. One of that is engaging with Silkla community because she's very clear directions on getting the new clients on board. Today, let us learn more from her leadership and strategies. Miss Debra, and thank you so much for joining us today. I met Miss Debra at our office at beginning of 2020. Yeah, she she impressed me by her contagious laughter, laughing and smiling. She she's very open, and she after that meeting she joined us as an expert in e-commerce and marketing strategy making, especially digital marketing. We feel tremendous trust and confidence received from Ms. Debra. So thank you so much for being a value member. We look forward to learn the insights from you how we can apply digitalization. Okay, so now I would like to introduce Peggy. Miss Peggy Lee joined us through one of our value member, Priya. Thanks her. So you brought us another amazing women leader. with hospitality background. Miss Peggy is well known and speaking at different forums. Your efforts and your values putting onto your industry is awarded. Now let's see a
Thank
video.
you.
See, she is giving the interview after receiving award from 2019 CEO Club Annual Gala. It was held in Ras Al Khaimah Hilton Resort. We had fun with Gloria, Shalini, also many others, which is great memory we created together. So thank you again, and thanks to many amazing audience there. So we also prepared polls so to know that what's the audience thinking, what they think are the most important thing they should do immediately. So let's do the poll first before we start the panel. One of the question, what is the most important measures your business should take to cope with COVID-19 crisis? So leadership is now is ranking top one. Then top two is revised business model. Cutting costs to survive came to the number three. All right, thank you. To be a women leader, what is the most important ability you should have? So there are work-life balance, hard work, creativity, passion. I see passion ranking top 43, and then work-life balance. Oh, then creativity is still changing. You are amazing. Oh, still passion rank top one. Passion. Thank you so much. You are amazing. So now we can have the third one, please. What is your main reason joining a business community? So first, connect with like-minded people. Second, knowledge sharing and learn from others' experiences. Third, grow business and close deals from the community opportunities. Can we start? Can we have the numbers? This is quite surprise to me. So the number two is knowledge sharing and learn from others' experience. This is rank top, which account to 65, 66%. Yeah,
That is good.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Hmm. Very interesting. Thank you so much. I think we are done with this one. We have one more. How much can you invest in the business community in a yearly? So there are 40%, 10. I see. The middle one, 2,450 is ranked the top. Very nice. But actually, this is the one. This is the new membership we introduced that you can consider, which is the X membership. All right. Thank you so much. You are awesome. Let's us continue the most exciting part. Okay. So now we are going to the main session, which is we are going to learn from our panelists. They are, you know, they are the expert from their industries, and they been in the industry for 10, 20 years. So they have so much experiences, and also currently that there are the new measures they took so far and the works they did so far. So now the question one is about the the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, as you know, it impacts our business tremendously. So I would like to ask all panelists, what other measures, okay, taken so far from you, from your organization, from your leadership to fighting this COVID-19? So I would really appreciate you can take a 2 to 3 minutes and to share your insight with us. So now from screen, I can see Peggy is left top the first. Can you share with us first, Miss Peggy?
Well, let me say hello, everyone. Hope everyone is staying well and safe. Lovely seeing you, Gloria. Missing all the ladies in person. For my business, so a bit about background. So, Strategic Partnership Solution, we are a boutique management consult, specialize in hospitality, food and beverage, restaurants, FMCG. So anything that is require a high level of human touches. Since the COVID started, it has been a devastating blow for us because obviously Shalini know very well what I've been up to before the COVID. So we have been awarded over 8 projects at the expo. We are the local country for Estonians, food and beverage consultant for China Pavilion and various other projects. So from a project management perspective, we have been fully engaged. The other thing that what we do as a company is we're probably one of the first management consult company in Dubai helping GCC community in looking at Chinese marketing strategy on how to invite as well as intrigue the Chinese tourists coming into Dubai on how they're spending. And we even offer the Chinese digital management as a one-stop shop solution. So obviously, since the whole COVID happened, my team have been reduced exponentially. And I think luckily enough, because of the fact that thanks to the huge development with digital, we have had not having to have so many permanent staff member, but a lot of very talented freelancer and very talented people who like to work with us on a project basis. So we were able to, I would say, reduce our overhead in a very big manner. Obviously, because now the travel and tourism is not yet revived, and with all the data that we've seen from even the recent ATM virtual, Arabian travel market virtual, the market as an overall would not be able to revive to the start of 2019 until around 2023, which is devastating. Dubai, on the other hand, we can possibly project all the traveling to be returning to somewhat a form of normality at the end of this year. But that doesn't quite comprehend the amount of hotels that has been built in forecasting for the expo, and obviously expo being postponed for 1 year. At this moment in time, it really is the Colosseum survival of the fittest. Now, for what we have done as a company, we have somewhat pivoted slightly. Yes, we still do a lot of things with Chinese, but more so that we built a little bit of a, I wouldn't say something very glamorous and glorious, but we now help fellow female entrepreneur as well as other SMEs who are looking to source materials from China, or even looking at whether out of GCC, even looking at various other new infrastructure are building up in Dubai as well as down in Africa and within the Middle East, on how to pivot and how to help with connecting the different B2B to strive other earnings out of it. So this is what we have been doing so far. And then on top of that is, I have been very lucky and I've been very blessed with knowing a lot of amazing fruit producers in Europe and introducing them back to the Far East, because obviously food safety is the next paramount question after the COVID. Now, we can see that there will be a huge surge in the cost of raw materials because people have not been able to go to farm. So how is that going to affect the economy overall and the world food stock? So this is the other thing that we're starting to look at. How is that helping small producers and evolving their produce to help to offer them a new platform of supplying to the wider supply chain that previously they're not able to tap into. So this is what I've been doing.
So I want to say congratulate you for your achievements. But you said you are very lucky, and I think you are also hardworking women. So that's why you made a quick, adjust on the business, and the strategies, adding on. So now you already know that what is your forecast, and also what you predict for next 2 to 3 years, which is very clear. A women leader, should also consider, their current focus and also upcoming plans. So thank you. Now the same question. Can I move to Miss Shalini?
Well, yes. Uh, we are actually in almost the same business as Peggy is in. She makes people eat, and we design the spaces where people can sit and enjoy ourselves or enjoy themselves. And
Shalini,
apart
with
from
hand
that,
and glove, my dear, hand and gloves.
yeah, we are totally hand in glove in our businesses. So, fortunately, our strategies also run on the same line. Um, I will tell you, my business honestly has not been adversely affected too much. Reason being, like I told you earlier, also, there are people sitting at home and they feel, oh, let me do my villa one more time. So what I feel is our size of business has become small. From big commercial projects, we have come down to villas, but there is still enough work to do. Fortunately, we have not cut down on anybody. No staff has been terminated, or no staff has been asked to go on leave. There has been no salary cuts till now. I mean, as of this month, I don't know what next month brings, but till now we are sailing through. Basically, our strategy has been to sign one villa a week. If
Wow.
we need to, if we need to scale down our business in terms of sizes, then we need to, then we need to increase numbers. Either we increase the size or we increase the number. So now we are not increasing the sizes because commercial projects do not really are taking place so much. Like Peggy said, Expo is working, but it is slowed down, completely slowed down. And other places, public places like buildings and the hotels and the commercial activities have actually come down to an almost snail's pace. So if it is villas, then villas need to be signed like one villa a week. That is our strategy. We have not been able to meet it. I won't say we've been very successful, but we are just putting our target. Like we at least signed two villas in a month. So we are 50% there, 50% yet not there. We are pushing, really pushing our people to do it. I myself have stepped down into the market totally, because now if I sit on my chair and think that people are going to do it for me, no, it doesn't happen. So I meet people on my own. I cut down the deals, because if my staff goes, then they'll say, oh, we'll come back and get back to you. Nobody has time like that. So I sit there, do my decisions right there and then. We have cut down our profit margins because sheer number, we are just working on numbers. This time 52 weeks, we have to do 52 villas.
Mm-hmm.
That is the target. How
Mm.
we are going to do it, I don't know. I have no strategy in mind. But my strategy is to connect to 10 people in a day. So I touch 60 people in a week. So out of 60 people, at least 5 people tell me that come and meet me. Out of those 5, at least 2 people tell me, okay, we'll work with you.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it is just connecting, speaking. That's what I've been doing. My phone bill has run, I don't know where, but that's it. We are still working from we are still working from home. We haven't opened our offices yet. We don't plan to open our offices for another month. We are well settled at home. We make sure that we have our morning meeting at 9:15, so everybody is online at 9:15, and we also close our day at 5:30. Everybody has to be online at 5:30. So we are trying to do as much as we can, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things will work out.
Wow. Well, every time when you start to talk, I start to um, feeling so much inspiration from you. And
Oh no, man.
like idea came to my mind. Oh, Shalini doing this. Oh, I should do something also. Like I when you anywhere, anytime you do business. I know from Mauritius, you say, Sarah, let's go for a walk to see other, villas and to see
Other,
on the way. Then you exchange ideas. What is
right.
club? What is good for members? So yeah, I always enjoy learning from you. And the measures, again, you are very clear that about your goals. So one villa a week, and the number of people you are planning to meet. That is brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
Again,
There's
it's a
no other way.
hardworking ability and the great passion. I can see the great passion always there, always there.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you. So now we can hear insights from Debra, Miss Debra.
Okay, so it was the walk for me was obviously very different because I obviously am online, so my business was relatively unaffected. But what I decided to do is help other people, because as the pandemic unfolded, people's anxiety level increased hugely, and as people's salaries were cut and people were obviously losing jobs, and what I did find is people, especially mothers, that were it's trying to school their children and live their lives and do remote work, were getting incredibly tired and stressed. So what I try to do is try and alleviate stress levels, actually. So obviously we did a lot of Zoom calls, and we did a lot of I did a lot of work in terms of focus and trying to basically separate the wood from the trees, basically, in terms of what could be done, what's in your control, what's not in your control, because COVID removed control from people in a huge way. COVID
Yes, Suraj.
also made freedom a commodity.
सूरज मैं
Freedom
एक
is
जगह
a
में हूँ ना
commodity now, it's not a
कहाँ
right.
चल मेरे को जल्दी बोलो
Yeah, and I mean, I saw that when people could go
मैं
out
कंफर्म
again,
हूँ बिलाल
I
सर
mean,
फाइव
freedom
को
was hugely valued, you know.
या
So yeah, that is kind of where I went
he
with
only said 5
as
p.m.
sorry. Yeah, as a company, that's kind of where I went with COVID, because I mean, obviously my business didn't lend itself to contributing in any other kind of way. So I really got like hands on in terms of people's emotional well-being through the pandemic. So that was really my contribution. I have seen a huge shift in business generally, and I don't think we can come back from that. I don't think we'll ever come back from remote working. I don't think we'll ever come back from the discipline that COVID has created within us. I don't think we'll ever come back from working online, buying online, the way we're thinking about shopping online. We won't come back from that. We won't come back from what we went through in 2020. Even if COVID extended into years from now, we're going to remember 2020. And just on a lighter note, I will never forget the mother that called her twins pandemic and quarantine. Never forget that. I mean, I can just imagine people saying, quarantine, come have your breakfast. Pandemic, what are you doing? Why are you playing with that? I mean, I just, you know, for me, that was a low point for me, actually, because, I mean, it was just kind of, I know it was probably done in a different light, but that was kind of really sad for me in a way, that because, I mean, those two children have to live with those kind of names in 2040. They would be called pandemic and quarantine. And when that happened, it kind of really hit home for me where we really were in terms of our COVID walk, you know, so kind of, I think because I was dealing with the emotional side of COVID and the way people were, pressing lift buttons and responding on an emotional level, I kind of really realized where people were with COVID, you know, on a very basic level, you know, so so that's kind of where I was.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Debra. And so now let us hear from Ms. Gloria. Can you hear us?
Good morning. I keep on removing the glasses because I want you to see my eyes. With these ones, you can see only the shadow. Okay, good morning, everybody. And first of all, thank you for letting me be part of this. I believe I'm going to speak from let me put the crown of Villa Sishu founder and mother. Villa Sishu, a celebration center here in Mexico that was born. I did not build it. It's born out of appreciation to the workers, to the Mexican people who have this amazing sense of art, to feeling them. And because I always said, no, Maestro, you tell me, if I, for example, when I was doing this room here, I told the guy, I want to feel this kind of feeling, and you do the job. You are the artist. So it's also based in my decisions now with what I call sweet COVID. The authorities don't allow us to open up businesses, and they want us to open the businesses with fear first. Authorities here are not helping us with campaigns that help people remember that it's your immune system. When it's high, you can deal with whoever and whatever virus or bacteria. We've done that for 200,000 years. So the authorities are not helping. They're saying, if you don't wear your mask, you will be fined. And the good thing about Mexico is that they have a very big faith, and somehow they don't believe in this. So how is this making me do my decisions? One, how can I help people be fed? Because this has cut the jobs, not only of me. I kept all my 8 staff, full salaries, and I will do that no matter what. My gardens are well taken care of. The villas are perfect. Sometimes people come in and they stay. They are my guests. Sometimes they do rent, but not officially. But when they come with the fear and Lysol thing to spray, and when they leave, oh, I remember, it's my immune system that will keep me going. So they open their arms, they eat with joy, they hug, they go into the pools, we go into our temple. We have here a beautiful temple where we every day, we connect to our ancestors. And I ask you all, please do that, because connecting to your ancestors will give you that force to say, whatever and whenever, we only have the now. So my strategy is to see only one thing in my mind: a world that is fed, a world that's serene, as in very calm, so you can take your decisions, a world that's dignified. This is the first time in history they connect sickness to allowing people to produce. This is the first time in history that the healthy ones are quarantined instead of the other way around. So I see then dignified what I do every day. I go out, I buy from the people in the streets, in the markets, every day, and I've created now a beautiful community I didn't know I was part of. Now I'm a peasant because I'm planting, and I'm really, really enjoying and learning from the people out there who are completely anonymous. Yesterday, I mean, I don't want to take that much time from the other people in the panel, but I really would like to tell you, there was this man who came in to buy herbs, because now I'm also into the power of herbs and how herbs can help you. They are our ancestors, so I'm into essential oils now and learning from lavender and planting and stuff. So the man comes in, he says, I want to buy arnica, and I ask him, why are you buying arnica? What do you want? I said, because he says, I have pain. I fell down. He is a Basson. And I said, oh, can I please offer it to you? It was something like $3. And he said, I have the money. I said, I know you have the money, but I want to share your pain. Let us, because when we're together, then it's easier. And he says, oh, thank you so much. So he comes to me to say thank you, and his hand is all lacerated. And I said, what's this? And he says, it's because of the cement. And I said, you're working with a back pain and a lacerated hand? And he says, of course. So that tells you, stay grounded. This man, I told him, I was crying. I hugged him and said, you are my inspiration. He doesn't nag. He keeps on, solving his problem. So that's the strategy I'm taking now. Working in order to feed people, we're planting, working in order to make people calm. And that's so, I'm so happy that you invited me, because that's what I do. And how to stay focused? Don't see what's outside your scope. As if you were Hitler. No feelings. The world is fed, the world is serene, the world is dignified, and hugged. And I go straight in this. And if you want to scream at me, I will hug you. So there is no way I'm going to allow to see the upside down vision of this, because I will crumble and then I will be able to help. So yes, I sing every day. Yes, I swim in the cold water. Yes, I do the Wim Hof breathing system with all my staff in the morning, so to get them going. And yes, I resort to the power, the female power in all of us. All of us gave birth to all the men around. And of course, it was our fathers who planted the seed. So we're all together in this, not only women. However, it is how we raise our children, how they will be seeing with compassion and listening. And that is all that matters to me. Anybody like Shalini is so centered. This is her vision: 1 bill a week, 10 people a day, period. No other way. And then sing, that's the way. And don't go the other way. Just stay in your focus. We have completely changed. Now I'm a peasant. Now I am dealing with herbs to help other people get in touch with their inner spirit, and together getting out of the physicality into the greatness of nature. I mean, these trees are giving us the oxygen. We are giving them the carbon dioxide. Let's do this. Whatever it is, until the last moment, let's say yes to life and be contagious And Debra, dear, you changed into now serenizing, calming people down. That's the only way, because the biggest idea in anybody's head will not germinate unless there's calm and serenity in your spirit and connection with the big source. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, you know, we have you in the CEO Club network is such a blessing because you have great ability to happinessing all the members and all the people around you. Um, Whenever we meet you, now we meet virtually, that you are still happinessing, inspiring, you know, all of us. So thank you for being there. Thank you for, you know, being with
Thank you all.
us. Yeah.
Thank you all for allowing to be contagious, infected with joy. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Miss Hend, and yeah, now please, you know, share with us about the measures you took so far. Would you please?
Hi everyone, pleasure to be here with you today. Answering your question, the measures are which are taken by Dubai Real Estate Institute or Dubai government. First, we are blessed with our smart and lean government that took the right action at the right time. And of course, we followed these measures and directions. We're back to office this week, full capacity, everybody's here. Certain people are not attending, working still remotely for their safety. We look up to our leaders, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai. And of course, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. When the first COVID breakdown in the Emirates and discovered in the UAE, the top leaders in the UAE opened the lines of communication. And this is for the sake of assuring that the government is supporting everyone and encouraging the frontliners to do their jobs perfectly, and we are supporting them as a leaders, especially the medical crew, police officers, teachers, educators, and essential staff helping run key services in the country as smoothly as possible. Most important, our leaders were closely following up and meeting the officers and the society to make sure that they are staying safe, they are in a good shape, and we will go over the COVID, all of us together with least losses. The actions of the UAE leaders, my inspiration and my teachers, indicate that empathy, indications of a crisis, encouragement, and leading by example are some of the best ways to deal with such risk and crisis, which is the COVID, which break through very tremendously and cause lots of harm to many. And this is what I followed as a government official and CEO of UAE, CEO of Dubai Real Estate Institute. Moreover, the strategic rethinking and rethinking of the business model as well, creatively finding ways to continue serving our customers was with passion and empathy is a key success skill and very important during the crisis or any crisis. And luckily, from back 2018, I effectively created a digital strategy for Dubai Real Estate Institute, an integral part of ensuring that DREI is future ready and sustainable in the long run. So this was like, you know, my measures so far.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. You know, yeah, that's we see the same that the rulers of UAE that took the measures very fast and provide the supports to, you know, expats, and so yeah, so that's we feel very grateful that we receive a lot of supports and you know a lot of measures took so far. Yeah, so now we are finished the first round of the question. Now we move to second question, which is very interesting. It's about the plan after 1 year, 5 years. So, as a female leader, how do you see our economy, both regionally and globally, in 1 year and 5 years? So, this is everybody's concern. How look like our future, look like? So again, this question is prepared for all the panelists. Um, so we can start with Miss Peggy. Mhm.
I think it's a very interesting time for UAE and GCC overall. I think we have seen the the thrive the thriving anxiety and everything else that everyone's been going through recently. But I think overall, as a region, it has still got plenty of potentials. I think for the fact that after COVID, it actually has helped the region in somewhat to shed a lot of weight, and I think a lot of old ways that it wasn't able for them to shift very easily. Suddenly, COVID kind of hit it and has cleaned the slate clean, and everyone had to start over again. UAE definitely still have a huge potential. I think overall, taken aside from Dubai, the other Emirates, I'm seeing a lot of very exciting ideas. For example, Ras Al Khaimah with their new ideas with all the tourism that I'm seeing is very encouraging. As well as Abu Dhabi discovery. And to be honest, I'm seeing a lot of interesting things coming up from Fujairah and even from Ajman. So it's very encouraging overall. Overall, GCC region-wise, huge potential still. Saudi opening up their tourism is a formidable move, and I would say that it is very encouraging overall, and it's also a huge encouragement for people to try to visit and to unveil the facade that a lot of people perceive of what KSA is. Overall, I think obviously China with its Road and Belt Initiative, it has built a great trend for the overall region, going down to even to Africa and going up to Europe. And I think that would help tremendously, and especially even the ex-Soviet unions from the Eastern Europe bloc. Before COVID, I went to visit Georgia and those various countries. So those have huge potential to work with the GCC community too. So I very much hope and I think the anticipation is there. The expo will bring in the new transaction that we may not have seen it coming, that could possibly come earlier, and yeah, very exciting things ahead. And I think, you know, with the leadership, everything is possible at this moment, and the possibility is there for people to strive for. Yep, that's my humble opinion.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, thank you so much. Yeah, now we are same order, so we will have Miss Shalini to share that how look like after our economy business will be look like after in 1 year and 5 years. So as we are running a bit of the the time that can we have 1 minute for each of us so we can meet our the program. Yeah.
I feel this 1 year, it may not be like really thriving, but it won't be bad for sure. I know it. As Her Excellency Hind said that, the leadership is there to guide us. I sincerely and really believe in that. I was just reading a book of Sheikh Mohammed, the CEO book, and I tell you, I get so inspired by that book, and I feel that there is some part of me which is there. Somewhere you start relating, and if I can relate, I'm sure all of you can relate to that. So there is a leadership who is guiding us. Point one. Point two, I feel in 5 years we'll be back to our happy and dancing, happy economy, happy everything. 5 years, I'm sure we'll be touching the best. I don't see anything happening, anything, anything stopping us from reaching that pinnacle which was there earlier. I don't see that. 1 year, I mean, this year we all need to put our best foot forward, and if we do that, the next 5 years, perfect. I don't see any challenge there.
Yeah, that's the short and sweet answer. The number one, the first year is very important. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
work this year, and the next years are easy.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. So like your industry are pretty doing well. Of course, the unique the leadership is play the key role, but other industry are really affected so much. That's so. What do you suggest them to be like to do at this moment? Just Shalini.
My God, I'm wondering whom. Yeah. No, actually, this is one time to reinvent yourself.
Mm.
Really, to reinvent yourself. If we can sit last 3 months, we have not seen our staff, and we are still functioning. So there is definite a way to find a way where we are more productive, where we can. I think in these 3 months we have worked much more than what we used to sit in the office.
Yeah.
Much more. Much more. I think this is an experience of every single person I'm talking to who is working from home. There is a certain definite businesses have been affected. I'm not saying they have not been affected, but every business has stepped up and found a way to find themselves in a better position,
Mm-hmm.
which we were not thinking pre-COVID. Nobody thought that we can sit like this and do Zoom. We would be sitting in that World Trade Center and doing this conference right now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there is an alternate world, there is an alternate method, there is an alternate life which we need to find out and walk towards it. And I'm sure it is a good walk. It's
Mm.
not difficult.
Thank you.
New way. When computers came, people said, "Oh my God, what is this?" We were so used to typewriters. Now we have servers, we had files, so it's a progression. This is a new way of work. So wait.
Maybe one day we will shift to another planet.
Maybe, I don't know. I was telling my children that to my grandson I will tell a story. That there was a time when we used to pick up suitcase, sit in a plane, and go to some other country and play with lions over there.
Yes. So as this COVID happened to us, anything can happen, right?
And we have survived it. We have survived the major part of it,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
right?
So yeah. Thank you. So Miss Debra, would you please to share?
Okay, so COVID is a virus like any other virus. It's here to stay. The thing about financial crisis is that you got winners and losers. I mean, you've got an industry that collapses, and then you've got an industry that thrives. Okay, and that's something that we just need to take cognizance of. Okay, I think that the gig economy is going to absolutely shoot up everywhere because of people having worked from home. I think that's one thing that is here to stay. I think business is going to be the field of business is going to be as different that email was to a fax machine. I don't think business will ever restore back to what it was. I don't think it's capable of doing that. Our mind shift has changed, our discipline level has changed, our productivity has changed. There's just too much has changed. We can't go back. I mean, we cannot go back because we've gone forward. We've been forced to go forward and too fast. Okay, so we cannot go back. We just can't. I mean, certain things will go back, of course, but I don't think it's the capacity to go back to what it was. I don't think is there. So I think the outlook is good. Personally, I think what you said about the GCC region, I think is spot on. I really think it's going to be like that. I think the GCC area is going to survive pretty well. I think it is going to sort out Deadwood, absolutely. So I think, you know, we have to reinvent ourselves. So the people, the industries that have been affected will have to reinvent. We're just going to have to. And we, you know, especially small business, they're very resilient. They've proven themselves to be resilient. And it's time that we're going to have to pull some TikTok, okay, and get that creativity that came out back into business.
Okay, I'm putting there 1 minute in my stopwatch. I believe that in order to be able to say what's going on in the future, you need to know what's going on now. This is the real only space we can move. Go back, it's done. So definitely, I love the sweet COVID. It made me understand how humanity thinks, how fear can take over people in no time. People that were so grounded are now panicking. People that used to be panicking are not panicking. For me, it's just stay in the now, connect to source, and instead of reinventing, I do agree with both of you, Shalini and Debra, that the reinvention is a good way to think. But rather to reinvent, why not remember? Remember yourself. For me, my absolute master is nature. I see the bird singing, and if I ask the bird, hey, what did you come to do to life? It will just look at me and say, what a question is that? And it'll keep on singing, you know? So I do believe that to reinvent yourself, you need to first be grounded so you know which way to go. How do I reinvent myself? So instead of reinventing myself, why not just remember we are all perfect creations of source. Look at that bird. The bird knows which insect to feed upon. That bird eats this one, that bird is that one. This bird nests underground, that bird nests, and they didn't go to Harvard to know how to be architects. They just know. They don't need to remember because they just are. So my sweet little COVID came to tell me how it's important to love it. Love everything around you. Appreciate everything around you. If you talk to little COVID like, COVID, come in this and play. And little COVID tells me, are you talking to me? Of course I'm talking to you. But everybody really is scared of me. I'm just a virus. I know. It has happened to me when I was a kid. People used to really, come and bug me at school. I know, just come and play with me. Oh, really? Of course. And then we play. And then when little COVID has to go, I said, and little COVID, don't take this personal. People are just afraid. You're just a virus. And I know that. If I keep myself understanding that viruses have been with us for 200,000 years, understanding that politicians that are rough and cruel are just confused because they too are perfect creations of source like I am, and I can apply this compassion to my authorities here. I really honor Dubai authorities, and I honor the ones here because here they are scared. And they don't know how to trust, this Allahu Akbar. It's a source of grounding you. So we don't have it here. So what do? Send them the ability to remember. You just remember. It's not my job to remember for anybody else. It's my job to remember from me. So then I can be in my, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. I see a world that is fed, serene, very dignified and hugged, and go on by that. So what happens in 1 year from now will be based on this. So in my world, this place will still be alive. It will adjust to this vision. And it's already, because we have now world-known people who work with herbal and the power of plants. They are already coming here to give us their knowledge. So just decide to be happy and stay happy no matter what. Get on board, do what you like to do, share it, pull people up with you, and when death comes, you will have lived alive, because you will not have lived scared, living dead. So what's in 5 years? Welcome, whatever it is.
So what we are doing today actually is it will reflect on tomorrow. So what I understand that today could be tomorrow. So if we are happy today, we will be happy person tomorrow.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And now, Ms. Hend, would you please to share your your insight with us? Thank you.
Perfect. So, let me ask you this question. Is it the first crisis that the humankind faced? We've been through lots of crises, financial, environmental, uh, political, and this is one of the crises that, as Gloria said, we're humans, creatures of God, and we're intelligent. We know how to overcome it, and we will pass it and will be stronger afterwards. So the economy in Dubai, I would say specifically, Dubai though, innovation is the engine of its growth. So it will pass it, especially during this year. We've noticed that Sheikh Mohammed announced lots of projects. The e-payment gateway, the media academy today, which means there is always opportunities during the crisis, and smart leadership would look up for such opportunities during tough times. And we as leaders need to reach, especially who had trouble time during the crisis and their business got affected, to rethink their business proposal, business framework, their project management skills and risk management skills, along with their team. So they need stronger business studies, and I think new skills will come up post the crisis, and we, most importantly, we learn from this crisis, just like the previous crisis. What we have learned, we need to learn from these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very insightful. Thank you. We still have a few questions, and we got some questions there. So what about we will run a little bit faster, and that we can complete the program. Okay. So I got some personalized question for each panelist. I will make it very short. This one for Gloria. So as a happiness ambassador, you have contributed our community and society. So can you share your secret on how to stay balanced and serene during this difficult time? And what is your upcoming plan, both for happiness and your retreat center, Villa Citrus? So can you make it very short, and so we can learn from you?
Thank you. I just would like to share my experience. When I was a kid, I wanted to die. I was always in fear. I was always having a pounding heart and couldn't breathe. So taking that under consideration, what got me out of that was appreciation and listening. So this is my life mission, to share with people. I'm a human being, an earthling, just like all of you. We all have a pharmacist in our brain. When we apply this way of seeing life with appreciation, alhamdulillah, thank you, our pharmacist will give us the happiness hormones. If I nag and I completely stay in the poor me and criticize like I did, and I got so sick, I got epileptic, then my pharmacist will give me the stress hormone. So just to detach the drama from your body is my most concise tool that I can give you, because I used it. How I got out of it was like looking at the mirror, and of course I thought I was horrible, and I would tell my eyes, oh, my eyes, how can you see? Before I used to say, you're so ugly and little. My ears, my Dumbo ears, I would say, oh, you're so ugly. Now I would say, oh, how can you hear? And if you all put yourselves in the ability that you can hear, how is it possible that you can breathe in the air through the lungs, it goes to your heart, it palpitates it all over your body through the veins and arteries, and you can exhale carbon dioxide for our friends the trees to give us the magic oxygen? How is that possible? So if you remember you're a miracle, because you are, if you can hear me, if you can walk, and if you can breathe, you can feel God is breathing you, whatever you think God is. For me, it's that force of life that creates and constant motion. You stay grounded in that. You will be contagious. Why? Because you will be connected to the light of the other beings. Every single being, being a snake, be it an elephant, being you or me, we all have that light within us. It's not just the blood in our veins, it's the light in our meridians. So stay connected with that and live your way, all the way, all the time, no matter what. No matter what. If it's going to be 1 villa a week, 10 people a day, whatever it's going to be for you, be true to yourself. Whatever matters to you. But do you know what matters to you? So 1, define what you want. How are you going to define that? Breathe, say thank you to your heart, to your lungs, to your arteries, and say, oh my God, I'm a miracle. Connect to your miracleness, and you will relate to the miracleness of your ancestors. You will feel we're all one. You will not feel alone. And now you will be living alive. That's my suggestion. And that's what I'm doing. My staff here is more united than any time. Our gardens are better than any time, because they all are very thankful that I didn't send them home because we don't have any income. But we're united in our spirits. And the great thing, they are going home and they are sharing all these tools of remember who you are, what you want, what is your GPS, follow that no matter what.
Yeah, so now my question for Ms. Hend. Developing future leaders is very challenging. It applies to both for companies and institutions. So can you share with us your strategies plan for Dubai Real Estate Institute under current situation?
For companies of all kinds to survive in today's uncertain environment, they need leadership, as I mentioned before, leadership skills and organizational capabilities different from those helped them to succeed in the past, before COVID. New skills such as collaborative problem solving, flexible and responsive digital systems that highlight individual initiatives, encourage employees across the board to make sure they have their input and make substantial decisions that align with the corporate strategy and culture. Of course, provided they are equipped with the relevant technical, relational, and communication skills. We at DREI identify talent and offer extensive training as per new skills required for such a new crisis and new norm. We offer them great business exposure, whether in the educational or real estate or financial institution, change their role and responsibilities and expose them to real business challenges and situations so they are able to overcome challenges financially or operational hurdles and deliver better results as fast rate. Therefore, we focus on employees who are able to cope with the stress and leading an organization, as well as able to achieve the growth of the organization. Some key elements in identifying high potential employees to be developed as future leaders, setting understandable criteria for rewarding and promotion that criticize their behaviors, achievements, KPIs, and associated with high potential. We provide developmental support for this who fall apart to meet these target KPIs, and we train them as we go. The key personality traits that distinguish a high potential employee are ability, drive, and social skills, especially post the COVID. There is a new model that I learned during the crisis, especially during the lockdown, and made me assist my team, my partners, and stakeholders and their value for Dubai Real Estate Institute. Let me share with you the model that I found called Hogan High Potential Model that works for all sizes of organization and sectors. This model identifies leadership potential along 3 dimensions: leadership foundation, leadership emergency, and leadership effectiveness. As per Hogan, this multidisciplinary approach to assessment paints a comprehensive picture of each person: work habits, ideal job type, leadership potential, and all information within the previous traditional process and the future process. My favorite is, which I learned from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. It's an essential approach: emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence helped to find the potential in yourself as a leader and your employees and future talents. Emotional intelligence is typically broken down into 4 core competencies: self-aware, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, where everyone needs to understand the situation, control their reaction, and knows how to communicate it the best and positive way, plus building that relation and manage it to sustain the growth. So this is my input as DREI and our approach, whether internally for our employees and what we learn, what we teach Dubai Real Estate Institute, along with the other real estate courses.
Very insightful and very inspiring. Thank you for sharing, with us. Now I also have a question for Ms. Debra. So your I want to say you are in a better position because your business are in e-commerce, marketing strategies, and digital solutions. So can you share how other leaders can grab opportunities, such as utilizing e-commerce and digitalization into their business? Also, can you share what should we do now rather than later, too late? Which means, should we also set up e-commerce, putting our product and services online, so we are visible to everyone? Then we are able to survive, in the long run.
Without a doubt, there's absolutely no question. Because of COVID and delivery and airports been shut down and travel bans, people have got used to waiting. And that's the key. People have got used to waiting. So Amazon and platforms like Amazon have actually lost ground. They've absolutely lost ground. So if you were in a business where you could not compete because of speed and prime and whatever, well, you're back in the game. You're absolutely back in the game because Amazon has lost ground. They've absolutely lost ground. I mean, if you did an Uber suggest on Amazon and Noon in UAE, Noon has taken over Amazon. They're ahead of Amazon by quite a margin. Okay, so I mean, I wouldn't even hesitate. I mean, PayPal have introduced QR codes. So even if you're in a service industry, you can get paid. I mean, all these platforms have created mechanisms to get paid quicker, to use technology. There is just so much that you can do. But what I would do, and I'm really strong on this, we need to cut out noise. We really, really need to cut out noise. My email is jam-packed with webinars. Webinars for flipping everything. Webinars on how to move an ant from that corner of the room to your printer. I mean, it's just too much. It's just too much. And we need to be careful, because the problem is our subconscious mind, once it's in there, it's in there. You can't get it out. You can't filter it. We can't control what our subconscious mind accepts, right? So we need to stop all this webinar input on our email. We need to unsubscribe. We need to stop seeing it on LinkedIn. We need to filter the good stuff from the bad. We really do. And it's really, 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 really important that we do that. Okay, and that's just one thing I just need to add, because it's a platform and it's a technology, and we need to just fill our minds with the right amount of stuff. Okay, otherwise we're just going to get overwhelmed, and we're back to the noise again. We're absolutely back to the noise. And how are you as a small business going to get your stuff out there if there's just so much noise? We're back to the social media dilemma, okay? And that is what we need to get past. You know, we really need to work on that, and we need to be creative. And when I said reinvent, I agree totally about the remembering, absolutely. But reinvent for me is about getting gap, finding that gap, and moving in the gap, finding the gap, finding the opportunity, and closing it quickly. Okay, so that's what it is about me, for me. So for me, your question, absolutely.
So much. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, so it's so nice to learn from each other, and especially from different field backgrounds. Great support from our community. If anybody wants to know more about e-commerce, about digitalization, then blah blah, then you can reach Miss Debra. So we have all the experts on board. So Shalini, can you hear me? I got one question also for you about.
Thank you.
Yes, we know you already shared input with us that you are doing well with one villa a month. So what is your forecast for your upcoming plans? So can you share a little bit on that? Mm. Um, so Shalini,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Upcoming plans, take the day as it comes, live the day as it comes, because no matter how many plans you make, there has to be a guidance, there has to be some way to achieve them. Um, as much as we are worried that how we are going to sustain this year, we do not, as leaders, do not need to pass this to the people who are working below us. We should have more tenacity to take it within us, because if we pass this sentiment down, obviously your work, the other people, the younger people also get very stressed. So we don't need to give this stress to other people. Take it on you, work with you, step up with you, I think we will be able to survive. My plan is to be like grounded and very realistic this year. That's what we all need to be, very grounded and very realistic.
And
Realistic. Okay.
also, Miss Debra side very fast, very quick to close deal, and you side very grounded. See, yeah. So I think that is very helpful for us to learn. Yeah. So also this question for one question for Miss Peggy. So restaurant and hotel both are affected most from the virus pandemic. So from your experience in the industry and your observation of global situation, can you share with us how to survive and sustain, especially from hospitality industry? Can you share more on um, ideas to helping others to survive and even thrive? Yeah, thank you.
Um,
Hmm.
I've been on various different panel since the start of COVID till now, and seeing across the board the trends. Um, GCC or UAE rather, the restaurants are suffering badly. Um, it is a good thing up to a certain extent, as I said, because it gives a new. It's almost like you give a platform for cleaning the board and starting again. So there's a certain elements of culinary elevation that would happen, and I think it's a very encouraging sign. Um, Hotel wise, I think definitely the hygienes and everything is utmost paramount. But I think also this then helped to develop the hotels into a new formation that they have never done before. So we will probably see other trends where um, hotels are being redesigned. So for example, at the moment, we've seen the new trend of Rove Hotel by Imar, where it's no longer just hotels. Some of the rooms are even converted into offices. And then business center has been evolved in the hotels to accommodate and survival, really. So I think this is very exciting. It gives a new meaning to what hotel can be, or what is the new playground of a home away from home can be. Um, from a restaurant perspective, I've seen great improvement in terms of all the new trends of the vertical farming, aqua farming, especially the new signs that I've seen over at Sharjah, which is very encouraging, and up in Ras Al Khaimah, and the new development with China on the desert growth grain that can be fed by seawater. So those are the type of things that I see. There is a new trend, and there's a new thriving aquaculture community that GCC can totally grow from. UAE as a whole, I think aquaculture is another thing that they can definitely consider to thrive from. Um, Hotels in Dubai is going to take a long time to recover. Um, Obviously, we've had the the mushroom of growth in order to meet the expo. So now I think there is a huge reshuffling on the over surplus of stock of availability of hotels to compensate for whatever the market can absorb. So I think, but this is also a good thing. So then it refines the level of service, it refines the level of customer attention that people will look for their ultimate or their luxury staycations, or even making a memorable event. So I think yes, there are plenty to play for, and all the delivery online, cloud kitchen, all the things that we've been talking about with among our industry, those are the things will stay for sure. How that would develop, I think, is a very interesting time. I truly believe Dubai have the ability to evolve to the next level, and the restaurant here have not had such a big backlash till now. So now is really, we're going to see a lot of very interesting new food development. The ones that which just brought in and not been looked after, those will be the one who's going to suffer the most. So yep, that's my humble opinion.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. You know, I'm sure your inputs will help many other industry leaders or colleagues. This webinar will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So it will replay, will be there. So yeah, I think we already run over the time, but we trying to have the last question done as the also final. I mean the closing remark. As number 4 question for each panelist. This question is quite important because that it will be some summary about your ideas, your advice, and your keys for a bright future. So we can have 30 seconds to 1 minute. So if you can, you can really gather them together very short. It would be very great. So can we start with Peggy? Yeah.
I think for me is the industry that we are in is, it has the human touch. The human connection is there. And, you know, when you're happy, you eat, you're sad, you eat. And when you're bored, you eat. And then hotels as well. It brings the sense of life, the thrive, and the journey. So our industry would not diminish, but our industry would evolve, and it will grow, and it will refine itself just as everything else. Just like, you know, the antiques or the fine cognacs or the fine cigars, you know, things will distill and it will refine, and you have a new leash of life. So I'm very hopeful and I'm very excited to see the development of the industry that I'm in, especially among my colleagues in Saudi and the World Cup to come at 2022, which is something that is a highly anticipated event, and I think that will bring a new dimension of growth, which is much needed after this whole COVID situation. Yes.
Yeah. Now we can have Miss Debra. Yep.
Always been faced with uncertainty. This is no different. I think I'm going to be quick because of time. I think we need to just bulletproof our businesses as much as we can. We need to insulate ourselves as much as we can. And I think we've gone through it already. Okay, but I mean, my job is to advise. That's what I do. But my advice to any of my clients would be bulletproof your business. Really take advantage of the gaps. You know, like create barriers of entry wherever you can, and bulletproof.
Thank you very much. And yeah, Gloria, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yes, cool.
Okay, good. So the key for me is to stay grounded. Everybody has a tree outside. Stay in touch with nature. Remember and see the beauty of nature that already chose to be happy. And what is it to be happy? To be happy is to apply gratitude in terms of appreciating and listening to others. That's my key, and it works because you will have then health, wealth, and well-being. And from this space, you will be able to identify what is your GPS foundation, who are you? You will be able to manage it. And I really liked my colleagues' words about emotional intelligence. It's all there. Stay grounded. And you can stay grounded when you see the beauty of nature and you feel the peace in your heart. Health, wealth, well-being, and you're contagious. Boom. That's it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Miss Hend, would you please to share your?
Of course, you can hear me. I'm on.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So, my advice to our audience and to women and leaders and whomever working hard to pass this pandemic, the emotional intelligence. So, empathy. Show empathy to your people, to everyone, even to the environment. Be accountable. Try to understand your customers, your employees, your employers' needs. Gain the trust. If you're running a brand, then work hard to gain the trust during and after the COVID. Encourage people, appreciate your people. All this empathy feelings are really needed for everyone. We're all affected with this nasty virus. Communication. Be clear with your communication. Use the technologies to communicate with your people, family, friends, employees, and so on. Transparency. Make sure you have the right information, and it's very important to avoid all the negative and bad feelings, especially in such times. Make sure you're the source of the positive information. Engage with people. It's really important to have the right communication skills and the positive energy during this time. Responsibility. During crisis, all eyes are on leaders. So responsibility of internal and external collaboration to succeed the business as the leadership. Key I would say role at this time. You need to be not only optimistic but yet realistic with your capability of with your right team. You're responsible of going through this positively, and we're all in this together. And I'm sure it will pass. Future plans and strategy. My last point. Be aware of what's going around you. Put the right plans. Understand the current situation, and make sure you understand what's post the crisis, what actions are taking, what your consumer needs, what your employees need, and adhere to the vision and mission and the values of your organization. Put the right strategy to survive and be ready for the future, better future, or even if we had another crisis in the future.
Yeah. So thank you, Ms. Shalini. So what is your key for a bright future? Share with us.
I couldn't hear.
I can hear.
I
Yeah.
think I can't agree. I absolutely agree with Her Excellency Hind. I think she said it all. We don't need to say anything more. If we just follow that and be compassionate, be communicative, be supportive, this will pass.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
already passed.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And yeah, so I guess our webinar, very interesting because we extended another 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Let's go to 4:30. So anyway, thank you again for all amazing panelists and your experiences, the work you have done so far for your people, for your colleague, for your industry. Which is absolutely amazing. And most of all, that you're taking time to share with us, which is highly appreciated. So we thank you for being part of Sioux Club Network. And we thank all the amazing audience here. And that please stay tuned, and you can see what is going on, what is movement that Sioux Club community through our LinkedIn, Facebook, and you can also review us on Google, tell us what you need, and we are able to do our part. So yeah, thank you again. And one more last surprise that we got many new friends today. So if today any people of your friends or any audience here want to become a member, so we have a 20% discount on any of our membership. So this is a good opportunity. Please share across and take it, audience. And thank you, and take care, and God bless.